Thank you for reminding me, Abina. I nearly forgot. So anytime we host any meeting, please remind me to record. Okay, so that maybe in the future you may want to clarify something. You go over here. So I was saying that the mode can be grouped. Okay, just like we had the other one on group. This one has been grouped. So you can see that we have the frequency here. We have the classes here. So this is called the upper class boundary, lower class boundary, upper class boundary, lower. So in any of these distribution, we have the lower class and upper class boundary. Okay, and this is a frequency. And we have explanation, or if you want to solve for mode, we have what we call the formula. The formula is what they have written it for you over here. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what to mean by this. I'm sure you're familiar with this. This means a change, right? So what does this L stand for? What does this change in one, change in two, and what does this T stand for? I don't know the formula your madam used. Maybe your madam used some F1 or F2 or whatever she used, but then this is the same approach. Okay, so this L1 here represents the lower class boundary of the modal class. So I've told you in the earlier video or in my earlier lectures that if you want to find the mode, how do you find the mode from here? Mode. How do you find the mode? The mode is the highest number here. Now mind you are looking for the mode, but we don't have the mode. But we know the highest frequency here. Where the highest frequency is, that is where we assume the mode is. In the previous video, I told you from directly, you could see that, okay, let's assume that here was only 25. We could conclude that, of course, the mode is 25. Okay, but here we have 41. It means, and we have a class here from 25 to 29. Is are you following? Good, 25 to 29. It means the modal mark or the modal class fall within this range that we may not know. So we have to compete for it. And this L stands for the lower class boundary. What's the lower class boundary here? 25. It means this L that you're seeing in this equation stands for this 25. So anytime they are given to you, look out for this 25 for the lower class boundary given. Are we good? Good. And you are seeing this change in one. It's very, very straightforward. That's why I'm saying that my formula that I'm going to give you here is very, very straightforward. Frequency of modal class, the frequency of next lower class. So with the change in one, please look at me change in one. Here we identified where the frequency was, right? The highest frequency. And we said the mode may be formed, or the modal class may be found here. Now, if you want change in one, look at the value before the 41 or before the mode. What's the value? 27. So go and subtract 27 from 41. That'll give you a change in 1. A very straightforward. Now, how do you find change in 2? Change in 2, you go to the next number. What's the next number? 30. 41 minus 30. Is I following? 41 minus 30. That will give us our change in 2. So we know what L1 means, which is a modal lower class boundary of the modal class. We know what change in 1 means. 41 minus 27. I'm not saying it's always be 41, but in this scenario, I'm just using that one as an example. Please, I hope you're writing 2. This change in 2 is 41 minus 30. So the first one represents changing the first one, and here changing the second one. And this C, width of modal class. How do you find the width? Yes, start student. How do you find the width here? What's the width here? How do you find the width? Yes. Here, I know it's 5. I know it's 5. Okay. Let's look at the difference between the first, this one, and this one. Okay. So 10, 15, 20. Are you following? I don't know how I'm finding the width. It's a simple of getting the width so that you wouldn't struggle. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Are you with me? So that becomes what the difference between the first modal or the lower class boundary automatically will give you the weight. So you could see that you are getting 5 here. Now, this is a general formula. L plus changing the first one, all over changing 1 plus changing 2, multiplied by what? The modal class width. Okay. Okay, let's continue. So what is the L1 here? Okay, I left something out. Yes, Priscilla. I left something out. I left something out. Yes,
Hello,
I left.
sir.
Yes.
The network here is not very, it's not very good. I didn't get the C. See how you got the C.
Okay.
And then the L.
Okay.
My network keeps going on. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. So this is called the upper limit. Okay. Lower limit, upper limit. This I'll get back to you in 1 minute. This is called the upper limit, lower limit, upper limit, lower limit. Okay. Now we can form the class boundaries here. I assume maybe you might know already, but let me go back to it. We can find the class boundary here. Now, in find the class boundary, we take, depending on the data given, sometimes it may not be 1, but this one you can see that they are even. So 10, 15, 20. We take 0.5 from here and add 0.5 to this. We take 0.5 from here and add 0.5 to this. So here we are having 9.5, right? Good. Here we're going to have what? 14.5. Here was what? 15. So if you take 0.5 from it, what are you going to get? 24.5. Because you are still dealing with the mode. Good. Here you will take 0.5 from it. What are you going to get? 19.5. Here you're going to get what? 24.5. Okay, good. So after doing all these groupings, I should have done it for you. Should have actually done it for you, but at least I'm explaining to you. So here will be 10.5. Let me see if I could write it so that you get it, because I really want you to understand it. Okay. So here you're going to get 9.5 to 14.5. I can't write, otherwise you won't go. 14.5. Okay, good. But I'm going to look at this part most, which is what? You're going to get 24.5 and then 29.5. Okay, so do some calculations for me here. 29.5 minus 24.5. What are you getting?
5.
You're getting what? 5.
5.
Okay, good. So that will give us our C. Like I told you earlier, you can use these first values to find them. But it's the more appropriate way. Okay. 29.5 minus 24.5. The same thing here. When you do it, you're going to get 5. I mean 14.5 minus 9.5. You're going to get 5. So that 5 becomes what? Our C. The C you are seeing here. Okay. That's the more appropriate way. Okay. So this L stands for what? Our modal class. Now you come back to this part. This is a lower modal class, right? 24.5. The reason I chose 24.5 because if you look at this number here, according to what we learned from mode already, what's the highest number? 41, right? It means the modal mark will fall within this range. Are you following? It means the modal mark will fall within this range. Good. But we have to find the lower class boundary. The lower class boundary for this particular area is what? 24.5. Are you with me? It's 24.5. So we have 24.5. And how do we find the C? I've taught you how to find the C. So after getting all these data, come and put them into this almighty formula. Straightforward. So please write the formula down and you can use it to solve all kinds of data. So this L stands for this lower class boundary. This change in 1 represents when I subtracted the 41 from 27. This change in 2 represents 41 minus 30. And this C represents the width. I mean, the difference between this and this. Any question?
So please, can you go over with the lower class boundary?
The lower class boundary, I was saying that anytime you are given the data, we are going to find an area. We're going to find an area. Please kindly follow me. You're going to find an area where the frequency is the highest score. In case you are told to find the mode, you're going to see that thing. Now, if you look at the highest score here, it's what? 41. It means the mode form within this area. They want us to find the mode, right? It means the mode fall within this area. If you joined earlier, our meeting earlier, I explained this one. Okay, so what's the next step is that, okay, then I have to go put them into what? Classes. Now, how do I do by putting them in classes? You subtract 1 from this one. You subtract 0.5 from this one and add 0.5 to the upper class limit. So this is called the lower class limit. This is called the upper class limit. If I take 0.5 from this, I'm going to get 9.5. And if I add 0.5 to 40, I'm going to get what? 14.5. I'll do that for all of them. Now, where the 41 falls, I'm going to get 24.5 because I'm going to take 0.5 from here and then add 0.5 to it. Where I'm going to get what? 29.5. You get it? Good. So from there, I have my upper class boundary and the lower class boundary. So I can go ahead. It means this L automatically becomes 24.5 we are seeing here, which is my lower class boundary. That is how I found the L or the class boundary. Now somebody is asking how I found a C. How did I find a C? It was very straightforward. I told you after grouping them into lower class boundary, what is the difference? Okay, if you go vertical or horizontal, you're going to find the same difference. Here was 14, right? So 14.5 minus 9.5. What are we getting? How you asked that question?
Please, how did you get the 14.5?
That's why I was saying that I group them into class boundaries. So I take 0.5 from here and I add a 0.5 to this one. So 10 minus 0.5 and then 14 plus 0.5. I do it for all of them. So all the first ones.
Please, can you take your time? 10 minus what? Sorry.
10 minus 0.5.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
And here to the same thing. 15 minus 0.5.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the first one, we do it for all of them. Here to the same thing, 35 minus 0.5. At this latter part, instead of subtracting, you add up to the upper class limit. So here to be 40.5. Okay, here 34.5. Here 24.5. Here 19.5. And then here 14.5. But then we use parts, okay? And somebody is asking how I got my C. If you find the difference between the lower class boundary and the upper class boundary, you get a C. How? So here I got 14.5 and here I'm having 9.5. Find the difference. Let's see. What are we getting?
5.
Good. So our 5 become the C.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So that's all. That is all for the mode.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So anytime you are given a mode for a group data, it is very straightforward. Simple. Yes, use my formula. It's by changing 1 or by changing 1 plus changing 2 multiplied by C. So L plus changing 1 all over changing to. I'm sure the madam used some F1, F2. I have not really taken note of it. What did the madam use? The lecturer.
She used LM plus FM minus FM plus 1 over bracket FM minus FM minus 1 plus FM plus FM plus 1 all over and more
Okay.
times
Okay. So between
W.
so between this one and the other one, you know, go and choose. Why? Choose one of them. Okay. So which of them are you going to choose? Are you going to go by? If you're familiar with this, you can go with it. But I think this one sounds cheaper, right? Priscilla, I wanted to ask a question earlier. Please, I want to end with this mode. Okay. The next time we host a meeting again, I'm going to teach. I'm sure you just started probability. So I'll finish the mode, the median, and the mean with you. But then I want to end here. Okay. Most of your friends are even logged out. We are only 29 here. Yes. Please, any question on what you've learned so far? I wouldn't want to add up anymore. Yeah, Sandra.
Please, so comparing the two formulas,
Okay.
using each of them, we are we going to get the same answer if we use either yours or what we learned
Yes,
in
please.
class?
So try using what the madam taught you, and let's see. Okay, try using the one the madam taught you, and let's see if you're not going to get this. I'll send this notes right after the meeting on all the pages so that you have access. But try using the same approach.
Hello,
Yeah.
barrister.
Yes.
And please for the no. How did you get the 24.5? Because
Okay, so like I said, I'll have to put them into boundaries. So I did what you call lower class boundary and upper class boundary. And here my lower class boundary, I had 24.5. I told you the first one minus 0.5. So 25 minus 0.5, I'm getting what? 24.5.
okay. Oh,
Is any other question? Yes, Sandra. Sister Sandra. So we are all cool. Okay, don't have any question. Okay, so I'm going to post this particular note on the page so that at least you want to solve any question. Okay, you can. So here they've given you a raw data like this, and they're telling you to put them into classes. So you will have to put them into upper limit and lower limit, and they can tell you to find the mode. Okay, good. So I'll teach you the mean later, and I think it's time for us to end the meeting. So pleasure having all of you. Enjoy your evening and make sure you learn. We are trying our best, not because I know I'm pushing an agenda, but frankly speaking, some of you really need this to survive. If not for the fact that you're doing this and you are upper hand or you have a greater advantage, that we are doing this thing for you. So please take note of it and then grab it. If you come from my tutorials, you have to understand everything before you leave. You get it? Anytime you come from my tutorials, you have to understand it before you go. You don't have to go and sit down and be like, oh, why is that man? No, you don't come from my tutorials. Anytime you come from my tutorials, I engage. Even if two people, one person is not understanding, I have to make sure the person understands and we move. So please, if you have any question, you can send them to my person. Okay, have a very nice evening. God bless you all for joining. Bye. I'll upload the videos too.